Majlis in Sarla since 2006. So
MashaAllah.
Hazur has very graciously given me permission to continue beyond the 3 terms which are usually for the Sadr Majlis in Sarla. So this
MashaAllah.
is my 4th term with Hazur's prayers and blessings. I'm trying to serve the Majlis as best as I can.
MashaAllah. And as Wajeeh Sahab, since Hazur's arrived here, this jalsa is truly special. Can you tell me your impressions of what this jalsa means to you? And
Personally, I think it revives your faith.
Yes.
Let's put it very mildly, so to speak. But for members, I think it's a new day. There are a lot of members, for example, I know from my Jamaat, Orlando Jamaat, and Ansar over the US, there are quite a few Ansar who do not attend regular jalsa. But as soon as they heard that Hazur's coming,
yes,
I did not encounter a single instance where that person said, I'm at work or I cannot take day off. I even heard one person said, I'm not getting work time off, but I will be at Jalsa.
Okay.
I will deal with the situation when I get back. That's the love for the Khalifa.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Yes, similarly, me being from Dayton Jamaat, there's many people, members of the Dayton Jamaat as well, that had similar dilemmas or barriers that they had to overcome.
Absolutely, I think that's the beauty and attraction of Khilafat.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So you obviously arrived from Orlando. Did you drive or did you fly?
I drove. It's a long drive. It took us 14 hours.
14 hours.
And non-stop.
Non-stop, okay.
Essentially. Stop for gas and other things. But Alhamdulillah, we were praying before we started the journey, as we have been taught. We prayed throughout the journey, not only for ourselves, but every MD.
Yes.
To keep, because there are a lot of MD who are driving. I know there are few families which are driving from Dallas, for example, which their drive is even longer. And it's only the love of Khilafat and Hazur's presence which attracting every MD like a fly, essentially. Absolutely. Coming to a light.
Absolutely, and somehow those journeys, as difficult as they may be, don't seem as difficult. You take joy in that difficulty.
Absolutely. I mean, usually, as you get old, these long 14, 15-hour drives were not an issue. But over the last 2-3 years ago, I was telling my children, now I feel it. But this time,
nothing at all.
I had no feeling that I'm tired. We arrived here in Silver Spring at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was ready to go next morning, early morning. So it's by the grace of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. So speaking of journeys and arrivals, of course, our beloved Hazur, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih al-Khamis Sayyid Allah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz is gracing us with his presence. He arrived in Chicago on June 16th, and I do recall seeing pictures of you on alislam.org when he arrived at the airport. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I was blessed actually to be in that party which was at the airport to receive Hazur. And I received that information actually a day before that you should come to the Chicago airport. And I immediately...
So hang on, so let me understand this correctly. So on the 15th of June is when you got the information that you needed to be in Chicago on the 16th of June.
That's correct.
And you went.
And I called my wife. I said, this is the phone call which I received. And I had another plan. I said, please call them, tell them I cannot be there because I'm going to Chicago. And my wife said, then when are you coming back? I said, I'm coming back same evening because I have a meeting at work next morning. And I cannot postpone that because that was one of our grants meeting. We are writing a grant for that. So she said, but you're flying for one day, for a few hours to Chicago. I said, yes, I have to receive Hazur. And I did not even hesitate to make the necessary changes in the program. And it was a blessing to see Hazur shake his hand and say, Ahlan wa salam wa marhaba, when Hazur arrived.
Alhamdulillah. Can you give the audience a sense of how many people were actually present, and what took place once Hazur arrived at the airport?
Actually, Hazur, when he arrived at the airport, there was special arrangements were made through Munim Naim Saab, who works for United and Continental Airlines.
Yes. Yes.
to Hazur to arrive through the special security area.
Okay.
And one of the immigration agents, he was Mr. Khan. His name was Khan. He walked with Hazur to bring him out through the security gate. At that time, Amir Sahib also were inside in the immigration area to receive Hazur, and he walked with him. And then when Hazur came out, there was all the presidents of Chicago area, all the Naib Umara were there.
Okay.
All the head of 3 auxiliaries, Sadr Khudam Lamdi obviously was in charge of the security. He was there. But Sadr Lajna and myself as Sadr Ansarullah, we were there. So Hazur arrived. He very graciously shook hand with everybody. He asked question, how are you doing? He asked me, do you live here? I said, no, Hazur, I'm coming from Florida. So, and it was amazing to see people coming there for a day or two only, because Khalifatul Masih was amongst us coming to the US.
MashaAllah. So I understand that after that there was a reception for Hazur at Masjid Batul Jame in Chicago.
Yes, and if you've seen the scenes which were broadcasted on the TV and live stream, there were a lot of people actually texting me that we wish we were there, because but at least they were happy that via live streaming they were able to see Hazur coming to, and membership's enthusiasm when he came to Chicago Mosque.
Of course, and that being the first time that Hazur has visited since the mosque has been built, I'm sure was a very special special time. We're also joined here by Naveed Malik Saab.
Assalamu
Naveed Malik Saab, assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I understand you recently arrived from Kuwait, I understand. Is that correct?
That's right, alhamdulillah. I think we might have some technical.
Okay. So we've got some technical difficulties, but for those of you at home who have access to the internet, please do visit us on alislam.org and watch the photos on alislam.org in the photo gallery at the Jalsa Salana. So at this point, I think we're getting ready for Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen's arrival. So please bear with us. Naveed Malik Saab, I see we've got the technical difficulties taken care of. So let's go back over to you. I understand you arrived from Kuwait. Can you talk a little bit about your journey here and
Yeah. I don't know if they can hear.
Okay.
If they can hear me.
All right. So Bajwa Saab, I'm sorry, we continue to have some difficulties there with Naveed Malik Saab. We'll get those taken care of. So
Yeah.
Bajwa Saab, of course, with Hazur's arrival here, we've captured all the pictures on alislam.org, and I don't know if you've had a chance to see those yet.
Oh yes, I think I actually go every day to see the new album which has been added, because at some places I was not able to be there, and it's for example, Hazur from Chicago went to Dayton.
Yes.
And that was a historical event as well, because the mosque has been just recently renovated there, and that's an historic mosque in terms of how long the Jamaat had that mosque there. And then Hazur then traveled to Columbus.
Yes.
And that was Hazur's first visit to that mosque as well. And to constantly see members' enthusiasm and pictures which reflect. And pictures are beautiful innovations, so to speak. It brings you, for people who cannot go there personally, it still has much better than just reading somebody's narrative.
Yeah.
You can see visually.
Yeah.
And it leaves you with a very strong impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate indeed that I was actually in Dayton. I'm part of the Dayton Majlis.
Right. Yeah.
So I was there when Hazur arrived, and he arrived shortly before Maghrib Namaz on the 18th of June.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing scene, because I think given the historical significance of that site,
Absolutely.
there were members of the Jamaat that were so emotionally impacted by that. They were crying that Hazur had arrived.
Yeah.
And so happy with joy. It was truly amazing. And then shortly after that, to see those same pictures on otherislam.org was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So 2008, Hazur is spending a much longer period with us this time around.
Absolutely, we are very blessed. I think I spoke to a couple of people, and they, the one young khadim, actually he was just early 20s. He said, why can't Hazur live here, move here, and so we will have this atmosphere which is at Beit Rahman every day, because Fajr prayer here is what 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And Alhamdulillah, mosque has been almost full every day at 4:30 in the morning, and that's the spirit which only Khalifa can bring.
Absolutely.
We can make 110 speeches asking members to come to the mosque and make, because beauty of a mosque is with the worshippers.
Yes.
And Hazur has emphasized that almost in every khutbah.
Yes.
And I think, and as soon as Hazur arrived here, every mosque has been filled. Even the mosque where Hazur is not there, the membership number has increased.
Yes.
So it's a direct symbiotic relationship type of thing.
Absolutely.
Because Hazur's presence in America is affecting mosques not only in Silver Spring but everywhere else.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, it's interesting that you point that out. We've got during the Columbus mulaqats in Columbus, Hazur held mulaqat with all the Dayton Jamaat members, as well as the Columbus Jamaat members and Cleveland Jamaat members too. And that evening, the mulaqat went a little bit late. I think the mulaqat didn't actually end until about 9:30, after which Hazur led the Maghrib and Isha prayers. So it was really quite late. It was about 10:30 almost by the time that the prayers were finished. And I was really amazed to see that members of both the Dayton Jamaat as well as the Cleveland Jamaat and any other Jamaats that were in the surrounding area, they didn't leave until the namaz was finished, because they wanted to reap the blessings
of
Khilafat and praying behind Hazur.
Yes.
So that's really amazing, because even after that, for them to be willing to have a long drive after that is really quite amazing.
Yeah, and also if you saw Hazur's arrival at Beit Rahman, Hazurs were driving. And as we know, driving conditions can change, delays can happen, but people were patiently waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, from 6 o'clock onwards till Hazur arrived, and even the little children.
Yes.
I saw some little girls and boys, they most probably were not older than 6 or 7, but they stood there patiently, waiting for their Khalifa to, and they knew that they may see Hazur, and they may not see Hazur.
Yeah.
But there was no wavering as to, oh, let's go home. Because they know Khalifa Waqt is coming.
Yes.
And their attachment to Khilafat, I think this, like it happened in 2008, and now we are again blessed after 4 years to have Hazur here. It puts a new spirit in the Jamaat.
Yeah, absolutely. Naveed Saab, you've been here, you were here last night preparing for this Jalsa, and of course Hazur came and performed the inspection. Can you speak a little bit about that and what the atmosphere was like, and what did Hazur do when he arrived?
Certainly. Hazur arrived here just in advance of the Maghrib prayer, and arrived at the main entrance of the complex, and was walked through and escorted, shown the different areas of the Jalsa Gah. And this year, actually, Jalsa Gah has been expanded to include another area for all the stalls, because really, by the grace of Allah, the Jalsa continues to get bigger and bigger, and we need more space. So after touring the various areas, which included our Langar Khana, the area where everybody eats, and seeing the exhibition at the entrance, which is also the largest exhibition that we've ever had at Jalsa Salanan, Hazur Sahab came here, right here to the backdrop, and all of the volunteers and their teams were lined up in rows back here at the stage. And so Hazur went meeting each of the heads of these different teams. And after he shook everyone's hand in the Musafa, he took the stage, and Hazur Sahab addressed all of the teams and gave them 2 specific instructions. And the first instruction was that all of the people who are on duty, be they the directors and the heads, or be they the muavins and the smallest, youngest volunteers, they should serve everybody with grace and with respect, whether you are serving somebody or dealing with somebody who is young or old, male or female, a guest or an Ahmadi Muslim. You should be very kind and very considerate. And the second thing that Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen said was that we should all be security conscious. The environment in which we live is certainly not perfect, but the role of our community is to create that heaven on earth. But we realize that it's not an ideal environment, so we should all be mindful for our surroundings. So with these two pieces of guidance, His Holiness then led the Maghrib and Isha prayers, and all of the folks who have been working here now for days and hours on end had a great experience to be able to offer prayers behind Hazrat Khalifatul Masih.
I know you called me. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it, but now listening to you describe this, I really wish I would have been able to do that. So that's wonderful. Alhamdulillah.
सद शुक्र है, सद शुक्र है, सद शुक्र खुदा का।